Hello, this is Teacher Maluan. Welcome back again sa Math Habit. Okay, so in this video, ang pag-aaralan natin is finding term in a proportion. Hanapin natin yung isang term na nawawala sa given na proportion. Okay, so bago tayo mag-start, review muna natin. Okay, so ang proportion ay ratios ng equal values and meron tayong notation kung paano natin in-illustrate ang proportion. We have colon notation where we used colon, while in fraction notation, so naka-fraction form yung ating proportion. Okay, so reviewin lang natin. So, in colon notation, para ma-test natin kung equal yung ating proportion, we are multiplying the extremes, and then yung product nila should be equal sa product ng means. Okay, and then kung fraction form naman siya, we use cross multiplication method to confirm kung yung cross products nila ay equal. Okay? So, kung nalilito pa kayo regarding do sa review, you can watch our video on ratio and proportion doon. Detailed yung explanation doon. While in here is review lang bago tayo mag-proceed in finding the terms in proportion. Okay, so let's start. Okay, so find the missing term to complete each proportion. So let's start with colon notation. Kung yung ating proportion ay nakadenote siya in colon. Okay, so we have here, number 1, n is to 8 is equal to 6 is to 16. Okay, so same pa din. Kung ano yung process na ginagawa natin in colon notation, same pa rin. I-multiply natin yung both extremes and then yung both means. And then, so kung equal yung kanilang product, means yung ating proportion, yung ating terms ay proportion. Okay, so we have here n times 16 and then 8 times 6. So n times 16 is equal to 16n is equal to 48. Okay, so para ma-isolate natin yung variable na n, i-divide natin sila both side by 16. Okay, so 16n divided by 16, maka-cancel out natin siya. And then 48 divided by 16. So, our n is equal to 3. Okay, so kung i-check natin siya, i-substitute na natin yung value ng n, which is 3, dun sa ating original equation. So, we have now 3 is to 8 is equal to 6 is to 16. So, multiply natin yung both extremes. So, 3 times 16 will give us 48, and then 8 times 6, that will give us also 48. Okay, so yun yung nawawalang term in our proportion, which is 3. Okay, so let's have example number 2. We have here 1 is to 4 is equal to n is to 28. Okay, so same process. So, i-multiply natin both yung extreme and yung kanilang mean. So, 28 times 1 is equal to 4 times n. So, we have 28 is equal to 4n. Para ma-isolate natin yung variable na n or mapag-isa natin yung variable na n, so kailangan mawala yung coefficient niya na 4. So, ang gagawin natin is divide both side by 4. So, we have here 28 divided by 4 is equal, yun, para ma-isolate. So, 28 divided by 4 is 7. Okay, so in checking, i-substitute na natin yung value na 7 sa ating n. So, 1 is to 4 is equal to 7 is to 28. And then, para ma-check natin kung proportion, multiply both extreme. 1 times 28 is equal to 28. And then, multiply both means, which is 7 times 4 is equal to 28. Okay, therefore, our number 2 is proportion. Now, let's have number 3. So, we have 20 is to n is equal to 8 is to 50. Okay, so to find the missing term, in our proportion, same process, multiply both extreme, multiply both means. So, 20 times 50 is equal to n times 8. So, 20 times 50 is 100, n times 8 is 8n. Okay, so para ma-isolate natin yung variable na n, so, di-divide natin both side by 8. Okay, so ka-cancel out natin yung 8, matitira yung n. And then 1,000 divided by 8, that will give us 125. So, ang ating answer, n is equal to 125. Okay, so sa checking, Okay, so sa checking, isa-substitute na natin yung value ng n, which is 125. So, ang equation natin ay magiging 20 is to 125 is equal to 8 is to 50. Okay, so multiplying both extreme, 20 times 50 will give us 1,000. And then the means, 125 times 8 is equal to 1,000. Therefore, our equation is proportion. Okay, so now, let's find the missing term in fractional notation naman ang ating gagawin. Okay, so we have here 5 is to n is equal to 20 is to 32. Okay, so kung ano yung ginagawa natin na process in our previous video, ganun din. So we will be using cross multiplication to test its proportionality. So 5 times 32 and then n times 20. So 5 times 32 is equal to n times 20. We have 5 times 32 is equal to 160. N times 20 is 20n. So again, para ma-isolate yung variable na n, divide natin siya sa 20 para mapag-isa yung n. So, divide natin both side by 20. So, we have 100, pag dinivide natin, makakancel out natin. So, we have variable n now. So, our n is equal to 160 over 20 and that will give us 8. N is equal to 8. Okay, so, you can check the answer by substituting the value of our n dun sa ating original equation. Magiging 5 is to 8 na siya is equal to 20 is to 32 and then test kung proportion yung ating equation. Okay, so let's have another example. So we have here 9 is to 2 is equal to n is to 10. Okay, again, we use cross multiplication, 9 times 10 and then 2 times n. So 9 times 10 is equal to 90 is equal to 2n. Okay, so para ma-isolate yung variable na n, divide both side by 2. So, we have n is equal to 90 over 2 and that will give us 45. N is equal to 45. So, again, so checking, just substitute the value of the n and then do cross multiplication. So, kung equal sila, therefore, our missing term or the value of n is tama. Okay, how about this one? We have n is to 15 is equal to 16 is to 6. Okay, cross multiply. N times 6 is equal to 6n. And then 15 times 16 is equal to 240. Divide both side by 6. Cancel out yung 6. Our n is equal to 40. Okay, so that's how we find the missing term in fraction notation. Okay? So, kung confused kayo, you can comment your question para masagot natin yung inquiries nyo. Okay, now, let's do problem solving using proportion naman. Okay, so for example, we have here, a tricycle has 3 wheels. Ang tricycle daw ay may 3 gulong. If there are 8 tricycles, how many wheels are there? Okay. So, kung ang tricycle daw ay may 3 gulong, ilang gulong daw meron sa 8 tricycle. Okay, so ang ating magiging equation is kung pag sinabing a tricycle is isa lang siya. So, 1 is to 3, okay, is equal to 8. Kung may 8 tricycle daw, how many wheels are there? So, hinahanap natin kung ilang gulong meron sa 8 tricycle, kaya yun yung ating n. So, again, multiply both extreme, multiply both means. We have 1 times n is equal to 8 times 3. And then we have n is equal to 24. Okay, therefore, kapag pala meron tayong 8 tricycle, meron tayong 24 na gulong. Okay nga, so let's check nga. So, magkaroon tayo ng 8 tricycle here. So, we have, let's count it by 3. Okay, sa isang tricycle, meron tayong 3. Sa dalawang tricycle, 6. And then 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, and then 24. Okay, so we have how many tricycles here? We have 8 tricycles and then we have 24 wheels. Okay, so therefore our term, which is 24, is tama. Okay, so let's have another example. Okay, so let's have another example. So we have here, if 2 ball pens cost 12 pesos, meron daw 2 ball pen na nagkakahalaga ng 12 pesos. So how many ball pens can you buy with 48 pesos? Okay, kung meron ka daw 48 pesos, ilang ball pen daw ang mabibili mo? Okay, so kung i-equate natin siya into proportion, so 2 ball pen is to 12, 2 is to 12, and then how many ball pens? So, hindi natin alam kung ilang ball pen yung mabibili natin sa 48 pesos, kaya n is to 48. So, we have an equation, 2 is to 12 is equal to n is to 48. Okay, yung process natin is, yun, so, multiply extremes and then multiply the means. So we have here 2 times 48 is equal to 12n. So 48 times 2 is 96. 12 times n is 12n. To isolate the variable n, we have to divide both sides by 12. So cancel out, n is equal to 8. Okay, so kung meron pala tayong 48 pesos, meron tayong mabibili na 8 ball pen. Or n is equal to 8. Okay, so ayun, I hope natutunan kung paano ang finding term in a proportion. Okay, so kung may question, you can always comment your inquiry in the comment section. Okay, so thank you so much again for watching, and I'll see you again next time.